hive of activity at an elephant enclosure at the Pretoria Zoo as a team of welders hastily construct a metal safety wall.
Charley's in the enclosure here, and I think there's a little bit of stress involved.
While the welders work, a lone bull elephant is confined to his night quarters.
With all this noise around, he's curious. Who are you? What are you doing here? What's happening? Why I don't get my food?
The elephant hasn't always trusted humans, and so the barrier is critical for safety.
4 months ago, I actually got a big fright because we actually tried to measure his height for the crate, and he actually slapped me on my shoulder with his truck.
Dude, you stand back and watch.
A specialized team must now train this animal to walk into a specially designed crate, the first step in a complex process. It's taken almost 2 years of planning. It's no small operation, and it's not without risk. This is the story of Charley, the last remaining elephant at the National Zoo, and his journey back into the wild. Charley was about 2 years old when he was captured in 𝗀𝗲𝗃, and the sounds of the bush were replaced by drum rolls and applause. Charley had become a circus elephant, and this was his life for at least 18 years. To this day, he has never forgotten those circus tricks. In 2001, the zoo became Charley's new home in Pretoria, and he's been here for the last 23 years. He's had several companions over the past 2 decades, but the last died in 2020, and he's been alone ever since. In 2021, 42,000 people signed a petition to free Charley, and a groundbreaking decision was made by the government to retire him from the National Zoo. Human and animal rights group, the EMS Foundation, has put together a team.
I wonder if he's going to need that area at all. He won't.
𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗃 leads the project.
It's a first for Africa that a government has offered the retirement for an elephant in captivity. So that's really an unbelievable step for our country. We have a team of unbelievable medical experts in South Africa and also from abroad. And then, of course, we have actual relocation experts and then a massive logistics team.
The crate, custom designed for Charley, has to fit snugly with no sharp edges into this space.
It's a matter of centimeters to actually get it fitted.
Slowly.
Charley doesn't like steps, so we're trying to get it perfectly level.
Derek Milburn's organization, We Wild Africa, is supporting logistics and providing Charley's food, a vital part of his training.
Charley loves pawpaws, so there's a lot of pawpaws flying into the zoo, and basically we delivered the fruit and veg on a Monday morning, and that lasted him for the week. And the challenging fact was really getting browse, so Charley eats a lot of browse every day.
Over 24 hours, Charley eats 50 kilograms of a cereal called teff, 15 kilograms of fruit and vegetables, 7 kilograms of so-called boskos, 50 kilograms of natural browse, and 1 loaf of bread. The team thought it might take months for Charley to get used to the crate, but the day after it arrives, his curiosity gets the better of him. He gingerly tests the floor. And lured by an out-of-reach apple, he takes a tentative step inside. Matthias Otto is the head trainer.
I speak with him every time. I make a little bit noisy with the metal things, that he understand, okay, that is not a bad thing. When he go backwards, I close the door also. He see, okay, that are doors and they can close. And I think that was a good first session.
The training involves touching Charlie lightly with bamboo rods, then a click and reward when he responds correctly to an instruction.
Good boy, Charlie. Brav. So ist fein. Good.
Damaged by years in captivity, his feet will need future care, so he's trained to lift them for easier treatment in his new home.
Good boy. So ist brav. Fine.
But the training's primary focus is ensuring Charlie gets used to the crate in preparation for his upcoming journey. If he falls, he could suffocate. And just 3 days later, Charlie astonishes everyone when he walks confidently inside.
An elephant that in the past had been aggressive towards humans suddenly trusted humans.
What's that?
We can't not talk about the costs
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
So where's the money coming from?
So the EMS Foundation has sponsored this entire project. An enormous amount of money, a massive investment, which will continue because we now have the responsibility for the rest of his life. And many people said we were going to fail. They said that he would never walk into a crate.
While Megan wades through a mountain of permits, Charlie is given an unusual gift, the dung from different elephants from what is hoped will be his new home in Limpopo. That's where 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃 will be monitoring him.
For me to take dung is just to give him a bit of warning that there's something along the line that he might meet one other elephant that is coming along.
By mid-August, Charlie is ready to leave, but zoo workers worry that losing their star attraction will cost them their jobs. They don't want Charlie to go.
We're not willing to sit and pay another 500,000 rand to sit here. Why would we? Take the abuse. We won't do it. No.
Let's set a date now.
The trucks are turned back, costs are rising, and the delays put the project in jeopardy.
We are going to reconsider everything. That's all there is to it. Okay.
Charlie's freedom hangs in the balance. It's 5 days later, and the zoo is still blocking the trucks from entering. But the team is determined that, no matter the obstacles, Charlie will leave today.
How surprising early morning that the engineer of the zoo have to examine the cars. I don't understand it why, but now we have pressure because the elephant have some medication and time is very important now.
A light sedative has been hidden in his banana bread. The permits are all in place and Charlie is ready.
Good boy. Come on.
Charlie, come on. Good boy.
He's a clever boy.
Good boy, Charlie.
But will this captive elephant finally be free?
Good. So, los. Good, Charlie. Come on, Charlie. Charlie. Los, here, Charlie. Come on. Charlie.
By 9 a.m., Charlie has been in his crate for 90 minutes, waiting for a crane now held up at the gate.
So we're waiting for the crane now.
So, how do you keep an elephant in a small crate calm? You sing Frank Sinatra's My Way, of course. It's Dr. Amir Khalil's signature tune. He's director of the global animal welfare organization 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃 and has overseen many animal relocations, including other elephants from some of the world's most hostile places.
I have very ugly voice, number one. But one time I started to sing and I noticed that the elephant have tears in his eye. And this is the first time in my life I have such experience. And people started to see the elephant calm down. He started to accept me. Sometimes music, it is food for the soul. Without exemption, Charlie, good boy.
3 hours later, after a few last-minute snacks, 5.5 tons of mildly sedated elephant lifts off the ground. Dr. Frank Goeritz is head vet.
When we start moving the crate,
He was a little bit agitated, so he got stressed out. So we gave him a little bit sedative, so he calmed down now. I guess he's ready to hit the road now.
But the staff, still angry that Charlie is leaving, don't want the truck to go.
Charlie is our bread and butter. Our children, what was supposed to eat?
The vets monitor Charlie on cameras mounted inside the crate. Thankfully, he's calm, but tensions are rising.
We'd overcome so much by the time we were rolling out of that zoo that the protest was there and it happened, but it didn't stop us.
It's sunset by the time Charlie arrives at his new home in Limpopo, Shambhala. Charlie has been in his crate for around 10 hours and he wants out. He'll stay in this boma for about 10 days for safety. But on his first evening in the bush, he begins communicating with elephants over the rise. Earlier this month, Charlie was released from the boma into a smaller section of his new 24-hectare rehabilitation home.
He was very brave, walked out of his enclosure on his own accord into the first field of freedom.
It's time to leave behind his old circus name, and his African elephant handlers have given him a new one, Duma, or Thunder.
As he came out, you know, he grabbed a big clump of grass and put it in his mouth, and then he went straight to the mud.
It's spring, and after 42 years in captivity, this magnificent creature is finally at home in his new mud pool in the African bush.
It gave me goosebumps. This is like a dream come true for him.
It was all that we all needed to see, actually, that he was in the right place.